Police as politicians. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. We have a problem in Canada with police thinking they shouldn't just enforce the law, they should also make the law. Police chiefs and associations campaign for this law or that law, a policy change here and there, and I hate it. Doesn't matter if I agree with the policy they're pushing or disagree, police should not be pushing political agendas. But some can't help it, even in retirement. Chris Lewis is the now former Commissioner of Ontario's Provincial Police Force. He's just come out with a long, rambling column for CP24, a Toronto news channel, and he says in that column that we need to have more restrictions on legal gun ownership because criminals are using guns. Now, Lewis doesn't use those exact words, but that's the essence of his column. Like too many political police types in Canada, Lewis knows that solving the problem of gun crime, of gangs using guns, is hard work. There's no easy answers, but cracking down on law-abiding gun owners? Well, that's easy. Lewis opens his latest column by stating the obvious, that Canada has strict gun control measures, much stricter than the United States. He then points to an uptick in handgun shootings in Toronto. All right, there's a gun problem in Toronto. We've known this for some time. We also know what Lewis tells us next, that most of the handguns used in those crimes are smuggled in from the U.S. Quote, given that purchasing a handgun in Canada involves a fairly rigorous process, including background checks, many of the handguns that are used in crimes here have been either stolen from legal gun owners in Canada or brought into Canada from the United States, where they are a dime a dozen. So to sum up, former Commissioner Lewis has so far told us we have stricter gun laws than the U.S. Lewis points out many of those involved in the shootings are known criminals or affiliated with the criminal lifestyle. He tells us the handguns used in these shootings are difficult to get in Canada, and most of the guns are smuggled in from the U.S. or stolen. So where does he go after that? He pushes the need for more gun control. Honestly, that's where he goes. Another quote, Canada needs to thoroughly study the legal handgun possession matter immediately and significantly tighten the laws around ownership to limit the number of handguns in society that can be used illegally or stolen to do harm. To listen to Lewis, the problem in Canada is that someone who knows a gangster could go into a gun store, buy 12 identical handguns, and then just lose one, meaning pass off all these handguns to their gangster friend and then claim, oops, sorry, officer, when the cops come calling. It's a shockingly dumb comment coming from the former top cop in Ontario, and it shows he doesn't know how the system actually works. First off, find me a gun store in Canada that will sell a random person they don't know 12 identical handguns and not ask questions. Fact is, the sale's likely going to be denied. Even if it's not denied, those handgun sales would be questioned by the Canadian Firearms Centre because handguns are still registered, just as they have been since 1934. Police are going to be able to track those sales, and if you're handing off pistols to your gangster buddies, well, those guns, if they're used in crimes, guess what? You're going to be facing serious jail time. It's too bad that Chris Lewis isn't serious in his proposals or his knowledge of the system. He supports the idea that only police, security, and the military, maybe, he says, legitimate target shooters, should be allowed to own handguns. He also wants all of those handguns stored in central locations, gun clubs, and not homes where they must be under lock and key. That's a bright idea to deal with handguns being stolen, falling into the hands of gangsters. Let's round up all the guns. We'll keep them in one central place where the gangsters will never find them, right? Lewis also muses about the need to bring back the long gun registry in his column. Again, it's crazy. Gangsters using handguns for crimes in Toronto means that a duck hunter in Red Deer needs to register a shotgun? Well, that's political logic for you. Fact is, there's no logic in Lewis's arguments, but that doesn't mean he can't win. He's making these arguments because he knows that he's got a government in Ottawa that will listen, no matter how ridiculous his ideas. A government that, like him, well, they don't believe that average citizens should own guns, especially handguns. Let me be clear and speak directly to those politicians. You don't deal with gun crime by gangs and the mob, people using smuggled guns to shoot each other, by cracking down on law-abiding gun owners who aren't committing crimes. It might be the easy thing to do, but it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do.